everyone. I'm Jerry Callahan. I'm the CEO and founder of ISI Technology. Some of you may know me from a company I co-founded in the mid-1990s called Blue Rhino Propane Cylinder Exchange. At Blue Rhino, we redefined how consumers fuel their gas appliances. It was a great story. We went from 0 to 4,000 retail locations in 12 months, had a terrific IPO, and 18 years later, Blue Rhino still has 80% market share. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a new technology that's going to redefine how the world heats and uses water. The first iteration is the HeatWorks Model 1, the world's first fully electronic water heater. I suspect most of you took a shower or bath today, and I suspect your routine sort of went like this. You walked into the bathroom, you opened up the valve to a place that looked about right, you went and brushed your teeth, checked your email, whatever, all the whole time you're waiting for hot water to show up. At that time, you probably waste 5 to 10 gallons of water or more. Worldwide, it's a staggering problem because we all have to do it. Existing hot water heating technology doesn't save water, it's difficult to control the temperature, it's not energy efficient, and the things inside that get really hot to heat the water break when they get really hot. We've solved all 4 of those problems by using electronic controls and the natural resistance of the water itself to heat the water instantly without any heating elements or burners. It's actually pretty cool because the only thing that gets hot inside this water heater is the hot water itself. Instant water heating saves water, 99+% energy efficient saves energy, and the technology is extremely reliable. So another thing that's cool about this is our electronic controls are natural for Wi-Fi connectivity. So through our iOS app on the front page, you can actually adjust temperature settings and presets. One of the presets we like, we call the baby preset, which is where you can set the temperature to a temperature where there will never be any scalding, which is great when the babysitter's home. The second slide actually shows our reports page where you can check status and usage and cool things about how much each gallon of hot water actually costs you. In addition, the utility will be able to control the maximum amount of power that the Model 1 can use during times of peak demand. Why is this important? Well, 34% of the water used at your home is heated. 18%, and that uses 18% of your energy. The Model 1 will save 24% of the energy you use and 20% of the water. That's like using no energy at all in your home for 14 days and no water in your home at all for 26 days. We think this is pretty impressive. So we're expected to capture a big part of the market because we have such revolutionary technology and our options are better than anything else is on the market. But what about all those people that have an existing water heater that works? The Model 1 is the only product that you can install on your existing hot water system that will augment its performance. Let me tell you about 3 unique applications that only works with our technology. The first one we call a booster. So imagine you have a restroom or a bathroom that's far away from your central water heater. It takes a long time for water to get there. You take the Model 1, install it, say, under the sink or a closet or whatever, and it's going to heat the water instantly until the water from your main water heater shows up, and then it shuts off. You save a lot of water. Second application we call the extender. We've all had the pleasure of taking that lukewarm shower after the kids have used all the hot water in the tank. Well, that's a thing of the past. You take a Model 1, install it on the outlet side of your hot water heater, and as the temperature decays from your hot water heater, the Model 1 adds just enough heat to keep that temperature constant. The third one's pretty cool. We call it the turbocharger. And this is, again, where you would install a Model 1 on the outlet side of your hot water heater. But you turn that water heater down to, say, 90 degrees or so, which is going to save a lot of energy. Whenever you want hot water, the Model 1 turbocharges the temperature up to exactly the temperature you want. This is going to save at least 35% on your energy bill just in this application alone. So these 3 new applications, we've created a whole brand new market. But let's look how big the market is right now. So globally, the U.S. water heater market is about $3 billion a year. The rest of the world is about $10 billion a year. But with this new market we've created, there's 132 million homes just in the U.S. Each one can use each one of those 3 applications of the Model 1 today. At 395 retail, that's a $52 billion market. In addition, when you install a Model 1 in any one of those 3 applications, you have a backup water heater, so when your main water heater fails, which it will, you can still have hot water. And by the way, 44% of the backers in our recently successful Kickstarter program picked the Model 1 for one of these 3 brand new applications. So this technology is fantastic and allows the user to proactively save water and energy while getting a reliable and luxurious water heating experience. Let me go back to my original example and revisit that morning routine for a Model 1 customer. You walk into the bathroom, body mass sensor says, hey, it's Jerry. Automatically presets the Model 1 to 106 degrees. I open the shower door, a motion activator turns the water on to exactly the right temperature. I step in, I enjoy a great shower, I get out, close the door, the water shuts off automatically. No wasted water, no wasted energy, no wasted time. Thanks very much for your time. We're taking pre-orders at myheatworks.com. And by the way, look at this. Great and instant hot water. If you judges would like to try it out, come on up. Thank you very much.
Someone should touch it. Touch the water. I'll touch it.
Yeah, sure.
It's warm.
Yeah, and there's a towel too.
Someone had it. That was very cool. Judges, what do you guys think?
Can you talk a little bit about the pricing?
$395 retail. So if you were to go and buy the cheapest 40-gallon water heater you can at Home Depot, it's going to be about $300.
And how many, so given, you showed a couple different applications, ones where you were sitting in front of the centralized kind of water heater to get, but do you envision this being actually a full replacement as well, and how many would you need for a household?
Yes, it would be. So in replacement, generally the rule of thumb is for every shower you want to take at a time, which is a proxy for flow, you'd need one of these units.
Okay.
So in a lot of houses, you'd replace your tank-type water heater, which is going to cost you $800 or $900, with 2 units, which is going to cost you $800. But they'll last a lot longer, save a lot of energy, save a lot of water.
I have a question about distribution plans. So you obviously are distributing directly through your website. Do you also have plans to go into wholesale at all?
So we do. So we hope to announce in about 2 weeks a partnership with a very well-known name, which is king of the wholesale distribution, which reaches the professionals. And then through our website, we'll reach a lot of the do-it-yourselfers and some of the other people. And then we've got some overseas licensing plans in place. It's difficult to break into distribution overseas in places like Europe and things like that. And then we have a direct sales force who's going to sell directly to the large consumers. Like the multifamily developers love these things because they take up so little space. Yeah. You know, in a one-bedroom apartment, you can stick them anywhere.
What I actually totally love about it is the analytics part behind it. Do you have any estimations on actually how much money this is going to save me?
So it depends. You know, utility costs, at least in the U.S., are all over the place.
Sure.
But generally speaking, we figure in one of those applications, the payback period is going to be 4 years or less.
Okay.
So roughly, say, $100 a year, yeah.
Cool.
Great presentation, Jerry. I'm a big fan of Blue Rhino, and one of my entrepreneurial experiences was actually a company I founded called Brondell 10 years ago. We sell high-tech toilet seats, and so we've been bringing technology to the bathroom, and this is great. I see that you started the company in March '06, and so I guess there were a few models before this. How old is this device that you guys have invented here?
So basically, in 2006, I figured out sort of how to crack the code. And then spent the next year, it was nights and weekends type job. And so then I spent the next year working on patents. By the way, we got patents in all the key markets around the core technology. It's got another one issued to sort of fence it in. So then really most of the last 7 years has been really on reliability and life cycle testing and trying to pick the right materials for the electrodes. We actually settled on solid graphite. And so the core, the engine, if you will, really hasn't changed in about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
It's really just the packaging. If you go on our website, you can see we have the Gen 1, which is a technology. We use it to prove the technology. And then we have the Gen F, which is a black one. And then this is sort of, I'll just say, a repackaging. But we learned certain things like maybe you should put the thermostat on the end instead of the side in case you mount it against the wall. People can use it, that sort of thing.
And the instant water heat, there are gas versions that have been, in market for a long time. Who else is competitively within the electric heat?
So there's some electric water heater companies out there in the tankless side, Stiebel, Eltron, and Emax, and people like that. But they all use the same. You saw the picture up there of the burnout electric element. They use essentially toaster wire, that's just, because of the latent heat issues and thermal mass issues and things like that. And really, do they last maybe a year or two? They also have a flow switch, which controls the amount of turns the power on and off and clicks on relays, old technology, as do the gas ones. And ASHRAE says that half of the hot water draws in a home are half a gallon a minute or less of flow rate. And ours heats water at 0.05 gallons a minute. We don't have a flow switch. Our technology is so advanced. And so any of the other ones also waste a lot of water because they don't turn on until like 0.6 or 0.7 gallons per minute. So they don't last as long and you waste a lot more water.
What's the current replacement cycle that most...
About 7 years.
I mean,
the US?
more for the existing technology. So how often do water heaters get swapped out in a house?
Well, for tank-type heaters, about 7 years.
So a 7-year cycle. Interesting.
And it depends a little bit on the hardness of the water. In some places, the harder the water, sort of like in New Mexico, those elements last, and those tanks last maybe 3 or 4 years, and in some places they last, 10 years or something like that.
You mentioned the Kickstarter campaign. How many pre-sales did you do?
Almost 1,600.
Cool. At the 395 price point?
Well, we started at, I think our average selling price ended up at about $300.
Cool, awesome. Congrats.
Yeah. But we ramped up pretty quickly to get to the real number.
Yeah.
Any other questions? That was ISI Technology. Great job. That was
Great.
very cool.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.